everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all back to our second webinar of our Free Trade Agreement webinar series that we are hosting in partnership with the U.S. Embassy. As you know, my name is Heather, and I would just like to take a few moments to welcome everyone this morning, review the FTA program that we currently have ongoing before I pass the microphone off to our team of experts from AmCham Jordan today. So Lana, will Raghad be joining us this morning?
Yes, she will join, but she's running a bit late. We're having a heavy agenda, so please forgive us.
No worries. We understand. So if she joins us, we will have the CEO of AmCham say a few remarks before we turn it over to Lana again, and she will be covering the rules of origin. And then, like our last session, we will try to save questions and answers for the end of the session. So if we do have any first timers today, you are joining the Oman American Business Center's FTA webinar series today. We are one of Oman's largest and most active business networking groups here in the country. And we're also considered the official affiliate for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce here in Oman. Thus, the reason we are having these workshops today. Our mission is to promote and support trade between the U.S. and Oman. So today, through a generous partnership with the U.S. Embassy, we are able to offer these webinars free and open to everyone in the Oman business community. If you would like to learn more about membership and how we can benefit you and help you to grow your business with the U.S., please feel free to reach out to myself or any of our colleagues with the OABC. Just quickly to go through our FTA program. So right now we are in the second webinar. These webinars will continue on a monthly basis through September. We also have our export readiness survey now available. So that is available on our website. If you are interested in exporting to the US, we highly recommend you take that survey. Also, we'll be having a 2-day executive training in October when the team from AmCham Jordan will be coming here to Oman to conduct that survey. If you would like to be part of that training, we do need you to take part in that export readiness survey. Later this year, we will also be hosting an FTA awards gala to recognize U.S. and Omani businesses that are currently using the FTA, and there will be a new information guide on the FTA available later this year. And then just a brief update where we're at with our webinar series. So we've completed the intro to the free trade agreement last month, and that recording is now available. As you know, today we'll be covering the rules of origin. Next month, we'll be looking at the technical and regulatory aspects of using the FTA. And then in August and September, we'll be talking about exporting to the US as well as sourcing from the US. During her training session today, Lana will be touching briefly on some of these other webinars as she continues. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping tips. If you do have questions, please raise your hand, use the raise hand icon, or you can use the chat box to ask questions. As you would have heard at the beginning, this presentation is being recorded. And again, I can't stress this enough, you want to continue to take part in these webinars so you fully get the benefit of this program. So now I would like to turn it over to the team at AmCham Jordan, and I'd like to introduce AmCham Jordan CEO, Ms. Raghad Al-Hujah. She's actually going to tell you just a bit about the FTA program or the FTA unit they do have at AmCham Jordan before turning it over to Lana for today's workshop. Thank you, AmCham Jordan.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Heather, for this lovely presentation. We're very excited to be with you today for the second webinar, and I see some familiar faces that we've had before. Hi, Dimitri. And and I do ask you to please try to be there for the webinars, because the action opportunity of being there for the question and answer and segment of the webinars is quite important. It's not as effective as seeing the recording. As Heather mentioned, we have the FTA unit at AmCham Jordan. The FTA unit is basically technical support for AmCham Jordan members, and the technical services that we give are basically any questions, any queries, any advice, and any support that is needed for AmCham members who are using the FTA in their business model. Lana here, of course, if you were with us during the last session, you already know, but I will give her the platform. Lana heads the FTA unit here at AmCham, and she receives almost 5-6 queries a week that she answers specifically to each and every AmCham member. And sometimes it's not for AmCham members only. We also support governmental institutions, non-governmental institutions, business associations, which are all part of what we call the Tijara Coalition. It's the longest standing private-public dialogue platform here in Jordan. And the Secretariat is also housed at the FTA unit. It includes, of course, the US Embassy representatives, USAID, and the Customs Department, the Jordan FDA, and a lot of other government institutions. And it is headed by the Minister of Trade, Industry, and Supply. So without further ado, I will be handing the floor to Lana. Lana, the floor is yours, and do your math.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning from Amman. It's a sunny, beautiful day, and we're excited to have the second session. Today, we're going to focus on rules of origin. As you know, we're talking about here export of goods. When we export goods, there are certain barriers that we have to overcome to be able for our good that is produced in Oman to access and enter the US market, or vice versa. If our US products we are going to enter the Omani market. Of course, these rules, they're similar or identical across all countries, but there are differences. And we're going to touch on all these differences as we go along, with focus on the US Omani FTA. So I have a good, and it's going to go into the product. There's a number of steps, barriers, keys. The first one is at the border. So we're going to tackle these technical sessions that we're having today and next month are the technical sessions. So we're going to talk about the tariff preference and the custom procedure today. Next month, we're going to talk about the technical barriers, which are non-tariff barriers. Here we're talking about issues like labeling or standards. And then in the final 2 sessions, we're going to talk about some of the market challenges. So in the technical, we're going to talk about the border. What happens for the product at the border? And then the final 2 sessions, we're going to talk what the issues behind the border. So some of the marketing aspects, finding leads, and this will be covered by Dr. Ragad, our CEO. For those of you who joined us last time, you saw this map. It's a bit confusing, the famous spaghetti board, but it's very telling, and it gives us a snapshot again of how the world trading relations are organized. So the base is the multilateral trading system. Everybody's part of the WTO, and then you have these different agreements that govern specific preferences between 2 members or more, or regions. So if you look at this map, it looks confusing, but and imagine if you're a businessman and you want to navigate this. So part of the session is to get you with the knowledge and understanding, and also where to find some of the answers. And ultimately, you can come and ask us at AmCham Oman or AmCham Jordan. We're here to support. So this is a big picture. Let's zoom a little into this map and have a look at the Pan-Euromed or the neighborhood policy. This is a European. This is a European system of rules of origin and preferential relations. For those of you who don't know, the EU has a preferential relationship with most of the Arab countries around the Mediterranean, and is seeking to negotiate even more agreements with the Gulf, for example, and it has the most network of agreements ever. So if we want to zoom into, this is a good zoom, you can see the big yellow part is a certain type of neighborhood policy relationship and association agreements. And then in the bigger circle, there's more parties that are part of also they have association agreements. All of these have one single protocol on rules of origin that govern how goods move and how do these goods benefit from the zero tariff. If you came last time, you attended our session last time, we talked about one of the best benefits of preferential bilateral trade is that the countries or the parties in this bilateral trade get zero tariff. So I'm not paying any tariffs on the products when it enters from one party into the other party. But how do I make sure that I give this preference, a very special preference, to my partner, and I make sure that nobody else benefits from it, that I don't want to benefit? Because remember, countries, they lose money when they reduce the tariff. And also they're giving preferences. And the idea is that I help economic growth and I promote development of the industrial base in the partner country, especially if it's an FTA between a developed and a developing country, such as the example here. We have the EU bloc, and most of the countries in the southern Mediterranean are developing or emerging economies. So this is the big picture. I have an FTA. What do the rules of origin do? The rules of origin specifically identify the nationality of the product in simple terms, like where the product was born. And if it's the product of the partner country, then it's allowed to enter with zero preference.
It's like a passport in a way.
Absolutely. It's like a simple way to explain it. It's like a nationality. So the nationality of the product, and because if you're an originating product of a partner country in an FTA, then you get to enter zero tariff. So why is it important? We talked a bit about this because ideally, if everybody's in the FTA, in the WTO, and you remember, you have to apply the same treatment to everybody, non-discrimination, and the MFN principle. So I don't discriminate between partners. Then the same tariff applies to everybody, right? But when I'm doing preferential trade, it's important to have these rules of origin, because based on them, I can identify if the product is really made in the partner country and actually deserves the zero preference, tariff preference. The point of an FTA is to promote economic development, to promote growth of the industrial base. And the rules of origin have they play an important part in this. Also, they prevent, like we said, something called trade deflection. So basically, when you have countries shipping products from one country into another country to get the benefit of an FTA artificially. So the rules tell us what actually product was made and prevents trade deflection. So they're very important, but in many ways, there's also a criticism about them that they're artificial, and they don't really they don't really address the core elements of trade and liberalization of trade. But they're directly linked to customs procedure. and directly linked to the tariff preference. So, and because of that, they're very technical, they're very administrative, and you need to have an ability to understand the rules, interpret the rules, and be able to work very closely with your customs and border protection or customs department in the national country, and be able to navigate how it works with the other partner. That's why when we do shipping, there's a relationship between you and your shipper and the consignee and your
clearance agent and the
all
trucker.
of this is critical and super important. So the key, so because it's very administrative, the basic elements are all built on something called the Harmonized System of Preferences, the HS code. This is an agreement that's developed by the World Customs Organization, and it classifies the goods. So let's have a look at what the HS code. This is a simple description, and it's taken from the ITC training, the International Trade Center. If you go to the International Trade Center website and you can join, there's lots of trainings for free. The same in the WTO website. So there's lots of online trainings if you want to know more. And of course, we're here to support you. So this is a simple example from the first chapter 1. Coconut, Brazilian nuts, cashew nuts, fresh or dried. So there's about 99 chapters, imagine, in the HS code, thousands of pages, thousands of products. And it's identified mainly at the 4 digits. And it provides a description of the products. So if we look at HS 090131, cashew nuts with shell, fresh or dry, and then 332, cashew nuts without shell, fresh or dry. So they give you a description of the product. So if you open it, it's very technical, but it gives you a description of the product and a number attached to it. Why this is important? Because when you administrate trade, it's very critical that we classify, we have clear classifications, and we know what the product is exactly. At the country, so most countries adopt the HS code. At the country level, you can add digits. Beyond the 6, you can add 7, 8, 9 for specific descriptions of products that you want to give for that are specific to your culture, to the nature of your economy or cultural aspects. For example, in Jordan, under the chapter for dairy products and cheese, we have additional number for jamid. Jamid is like a very traditional kind of yogurt, fermented yogurt that you make a sauce from. So we have a special digit for that. But it's after, and a lot of the time you will ask, can I describe all of this product? What if there's something different? When you open the HS code or your local customs manual, you will see at the end there's something called other. So let's say I had cashew nuts that are grind and shelled with sugar and pepper. So this is something somebody made up. It would be under, so it doesn't fit exactly in the descriptions, but there's always something other that will also cover, that provides like a catch net to cover all the different aspects. So it's not difficult to understand and navigate the HS code, but please always make sure, if you don't know the product, go to your shipping agent, go to your trade specialist to help you identify the product, because based on the HS number, everything else, as we will see, will make a difference, whether it's the actual tariff, how the rule of origin is provided, and even when we talk about the specific rules. So we're talking about like cooked meat, or sorry, not cooked meat, like a cooked cheese that's frozen, then the procedure, the technical, the other procedure, remember we talked about non-tariff barriers, that will differ if we're talking about like uncooked or frozen cheese. So the cooked or uncooked will make a difference, and we will find it identified in the HS code as the first place we start to help us navigate these different rules. Does somebody have a question here? Because I talk too much and there's always curiosity. So
how difficult is it to change your HS code once you register?
you shouldn't you shouldn't do that because it will create administrative burdens for you. Sometimes you should really be correct HS code, but sometimes the customs authority will look and assess and will have the authority to tell you, no, this is wrong, this is your HS code, and that means it will differ. Everything else that you done, if you fumigated your product, you didn't fumigate the product, everything else will matter, will change, and will have an effect on how you export your product. Looks like spaghetti. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. I wish it was spaghetti carbonara. So sorry, let's go back. If there's no questions, let's go back to the presentation. Specifically on the rules of origin. And at the end, we'll have a time also for questions and answers. So this is an example. This is from the US Harman HS classification. If we have a look, this is for jewelry. We know that Oman exports jewelry a lot like Jordan. And if we look at the description, it gives you a description. See here, other, and you go through four digits, 6 digits, and 8 digits, and you even have little zeros here. If we look at the description, it's by kilogram, so the tariff is imposed by the kilogram of the jewelry. It has a description. See this rope, curved cable, chains, etc. So this is for each kilogram you have 6.3 grams. Sorry, you have 6.3%. This is the general, and this is the special. So what's the general? The general is everybody in the WTO. So it's the MFN tariff. If you recall from last time, we talked about that. The special, these are the countries where the US has free trade agreements. Here is Oman, it says free, so 0 tariff. The last column is the column for countries that are not members of the WTO. So it's basically like North Korea, that are countries, and you can see, look at the tariff, 80%. So now with the growth of multilateral, the growth of the WTO, now there's a 163 members, and as well the spaghetti board. You see everybody has an FTA. These preferences, the tariff preferences, while they exist and they play a very critical role, with time they are eroded. So as most countries join the WTO, basically the 80% tariff doesn't apply to anybody anymore. Everybody, they pay the 6.3 or and the preferential FTA. This is the Omani customs table. Again, you can see, look at for jewelry, we can see, sorry, it's very sensitive, the keyboard. We're talking about the HS code 7113, the same as before. See, look here, we go back to the US customs 7113. So the jewelry, this is where we find it, and then you have the different digits, the description of the product. This is the MFN 5%, and this is the preferential trade under bilateral free trade. This is the USCA, so basically 0. Singapore FTA, as you recall, last time we talked about it. Oman is as part of the GCC, has a free trade agreement with Singapore and FTA states. This is the link below. You can have a look and see for yourself if you have any specific questions. So now we understand the basic, the pillars on which what we're talking about. Let's have a look at what are the specific rules when we talk about what are the technical aspects when we talk about rules of origin. So as you remember, we talked about you're in the FTA, you're not in the you're in the you're in the WTO, and you have an FTA. So different tariffs apply. The same for rules of origin. There's preferential rules and non-preferential rules. The non-preferential rules they're basically what each country applies between the members that are a party of the WTO agreement. There is, you remember last time we talked about the WTO agreements and how they're like 23,000 pages, and there's an agreement on goods, an agreement on services, an agreement on intellectual property. In the goods agreement, there are sub-agreements on agriculture, on trade remedies, the anti-dumping, we talked about that, and also there's an agreement on rules of origin. So what does the WTO agreement say? It doesn't give you specific detail. The idea is that when you apply your rules of origin, you don't do it in a discriminatory manner. You do it based on transparency, predictability, and you do not discriminate between your partners. So you need, or in a manner that takes away the benefits that you agreed on under the WTO. And also there's a commitment to harmonize the rules of origin under the WTO. When I talk about FTAs, there are specific chapters in an FTA or a bilateral free trade that gives specific detail on how the products will be considered originating for the purpose of applying the zero tariff. We're going to talk about these rules now. Two kinds of rules: non-preferential WTO members, and since again there's a lot of people part of the WTO, it seems sometimes that this is an administrative burden that when countries are trading between other WTO members, it's not so necessary because it doesn't matter if I'm in the WTO and I'm exporting to Kenya. Kenya is a WTO member. Kenya won't care so much if I have some products from Egypt or from Greece, because anyway, it will apply the same tariff to all these countries. So administratively, at the multilateral level, it should be less burdensome or even unnecessary. However, due to the interlinkages and the increased amount of preferential trade agreements, whether bilateral or regional, there's over 330, 350 bilateral arrangement, preferential arrangements outside the WTO, and they seem to be increasing. Countries seem to be moving towards negotiating these chapters. The rules of origin get greater importance. So we talked a bit about the non-preferential. We're gonna set that aside and focus just on non-preferential rules, and specifically looking at the US-Oman free trade agreement and the chapters on rules of origin. So again, this is a description of just so you can visualize the difference between preferential and bilateral trade. When we negotiate an FTA, remember the WTO rules demand that these agreements actually add to trade and cover substantive amount of trade. And we're talking here about goods, trade in goods. So there are, as we go along, we're going to discuss three aspects. What's the technical rules that I apply to consider a product originating? There are some technical requirements, territorial requirements, like direct transport and or the administrative rules. How do I use the proof of origin? For example, what the customs control over the product as it goes from as it's shipped and transported from the country of the one party into the country of the other trading party, and of course the proof of origin, the certificate of origin. If we talk about birth and nationality, this is like the birth certificate that goes along with the product. As always in international trade, there's multiple kind of options for countries, because countries want to be flexible and they want to be able to use the mechanism that best meets their interests and the objectives they want to achieve from the trade agreement. So the first item we're going to look into is the origin criteria, and what are the processes that infer origin. What are the processes that don't infer origin, which are minimal works or certain aspects that do not, and the concept of accumulation. This is a bit challenging, but we will see how it works to promote trade and economic development between the parties to a preferential trade arrangement. So when we talk about goods, things we can touch, there's two main elements. The first
Things you can drop on your
thing you can drop on your foot, there's two ways to do it. There's wholly obtained, and there's substantive transformation. This has to do with how products are manufactured, goods and products, how they are manufactured. We're going to look at each aspect specifically as we go. So let's look at wholly obtained. This is pretty self-explanatory. So things that come from the earth of or from the territory of the other parties, like gold, oil. We know Oman exports a lot of oil, mineral products, fruits and vegetables, animals. You see animals move. There is a rule for animals. It has to be in the territory for more than a certain period of time, or it has to be slaughtered in the territory. So there are rules there. And there's a whole chapter on wholly obtained products.
Actually, this is funny that you mentioned, because there's even different rules for animals that are born in a country and animals that are exported in a country and grown there. So like different rules apply for each and every component.
Definitely. So, sorry. So let's look at the second. So this is fairly simple. Even if let's say, if I grow the rice and rice and I peel it and I put it in sacks, it's still wholly obtained. You see how. Then that second rule, I'm talking now about exactly I have a manufacturing or a processing step into the product before it reaches the final consumer. There's a simple rule, change in tariff heading. So it was under a certain chapter. So if I have wheat, for example, and then I turn it into a basket. A basket is a whole different chapter. It's a whole different product. So I change from one chapter, from one tariff heading into another. So the product changed description totally. Exactly. This is what I want to focus on. The HS code changes totally. So if I have the grains 1401, then it changes into a basket. I make it and I weave it and I put effort into it and value added into it. It changes tariff heading into another whole different chapter 4602. Then it's automatically considered to be originating. That's one aspect, one method to calculate originating. Value added. This is when I have a bunch, I'm manufacturing the product from parts, or for example, if I have, we're gonna have a look at specific examples. So I'm looking at the rice, and I take the rice, and that's from another country, but I process it and I make it into a pudding or a rice pudding. Then this is a whole different product, but it went through a manufacturing process. For example, in Jordan, we have lots of electrical devices. Like we make lots of components, TVs and washing machines. We also make refrigerators. What happens? The products are imported from other countries. The products are imported from other countries, and they're manufactured together into a whole different product. Not assembled, manufactured. You have a processing line. This is okay because this is how globalization works, right? And in this rule, sorry, when we talk about value added, there's normally a threshold, so a minimum level or a maximum level. There's another rule. This is more stringent, more complicated, where the rules specific that you have to undertake specific manufacturing processes. The most famous example for this is in the textiles industry, where they tell you to have originating, you must produce the garment from the yarn. So I'm okay, maybe I grew the cotton in Egypt, but I bring the cotton from Egypt into Jordan. I weave it and I turn it into a thread, and the thread I turn it into fabric. If you want to take the example, and the fabric I cut it and I sew it and it's a t-shirt. So this, but I have to start from where? From the yarn. So it's okay to import the product, the input of production from one country, but then the actual production has to be substantive. So there are specific manufacturing rules. Another example, chocolates. Like we know that cocoa butter and cocoa is produced mainly in, not in Europe, or not in Switzerland, not in Belgium, the land of chocolate, but these inputs of production are imported from the country in Africa, Ghana, or I don't know where they produce cocoa, and turned into chocolate or cocoa butter bars in these countries and manufactured into chocolate bars. This is specific manufacturing processes, but like from different products into a final, from different inputs of production into a final product. So let's have a little look at an example. This is from training from the World Customs Organization. And we're looking at the EU rules. We look at the EU rules here just to understand the concepts. But we will, in the latter, towards the end, focus specifically on the rules in the Oman FTA. So this is a curling iron. This is an electric device. It's produced in Europe, but from parts imported from Japan. So this is the subheading of the iron, and these are the parts. So you can see there's a difference in, so they're all under the same chapter, because we're talking about electronic items, but they're not from the same, they're different numbers. Same chapter, same heading, but different descriptions. Why? Because one is a final product and the other might be a motor or a technical like heat device, an electric wire, all these things. So these products that I import that are non-originating, I'm importing them from Japan, the input of production, they come up to 1.20% of the value of the product. Then I'm manufacturing, this is the value added. I'm producing the product, I'm assembling, I'm paying labor, I'm putting design. All of these things go into counting the value added, and it comes up to 2.45
euros or dollars or
percent, 2.45% of the product. So this is the profit, and then the X works price. This is the final price of the product X works. So we're talking about the product at the factory. It still hasn't left the factory. After it leaves the factory, there's transport and shipping costs, but we won't get into that. Maybe Ragad will cover it probably for you in session 4. So this is how the product actually manufactured. What do the rules say? If you look at the rules, the description of the product, we look at the rules, we find that they're using two mechanisms. This is a way, or this. So when I look at the manufacturing, I want to calculate if the product is originating, I have two methods to use. So manufacturing from material of any heading except that of the product. So I can't bring a hair dryer from Japan under the same subheading and box it up and color it and put my label on it and say, oh, look, I made it. It's now a UK, an EU product that I produced. If it's the same heading, it doesn't infer origin. In which, but it goes on to say, in which the value of the material used does not exceed 40% of the X works price of the product. So they are assuming that even if you use products from the same heading, there is a value. I do value processing. I process it, and but all of this, the inputs of production, don't exceed 40% of the X works price. So the price of the product at the door of the factory. Okay, this is one, and they're using, if you can see, value added, a value added and change of tariff heading rules. So they're using two combined rules when I confer origin. So be careful when the or is very critical because it's either or. When I look at the other rule that they allowed me to use to confer origin, it said manufacture in which the value of all material used does not exceed of all material non-originating material used does not exceed 30% of the export price. So if I look at the example, this is what we're talking about. This is the value of the material that is non-originating material used. So when I look at these two rules and I see, okay, the first one, it doesn't apply, but if I look at the or, it does apply, so it is originating. Remember we said 1.2% of the ex-works price comes up to less than 30% of the value of the product. Therefore, it is originating and will benefit from the zero tariff preference. So, for example, I'm importing this iron curtain from the EU into Jordan. It pays zero tariff. But if I'm importing the iron from Japan, or I consider that it doesn't meet the rules of origin, it will have to pay the MFN or the general tariff preference, the tariff amount. Now, we looked at holy octane, so products from the earth, like stone, oil, plant, fruit, vegetables, wholly from the earth, not processed, not going any manufacturing step in general, in simple terms. Then I have the processing, the rules. There's a change in tariff heading, value added, or specific process, like we talked about from the yarn. So these techniques can apply independently or together. When we look at how countries design their rules of origin, the flexibility again, why? Because we know that actually the value chains, the production chain actually comes from inputs of a lot of products from all over the world. But there are certain activities that in and of themselves do not confer origin. These are simple, like packaging, labeling, these in and of themselves do not infer origin on the product. So let's say if I bring sacks of rice from Vietnam into Jordan, and I unpack them and I put them into small packs, this does not, will not give it the origin. But if I take the same rice and I clean it, and I remove the shell, let's say, I clean it, I fix it, I remove.
Sometimes they bleach.
So I do something to it that's added value, a process that changes it from just rice into packed rice that is unshelled, for example. Then the processing will confer origin to these small unpacked rice packs. So we have to think that there are some activities that will not confer origin in themselves. So we need to be aware of these as we produce our product to see if it benefits from the tariff preference or not. The cumulation. The cumulation is basically, it means combination. And there are three types of accumulation. If you remember, remember the map, how everything's over there, you have agreements between two people, two parties, two countries. Sometimes there are regional agreements, like the one that the Euromed association agreements, or there's sometimes like combination of like the European Union. It's a whole unity and customs union of that. So within these different structures of preferential trade, there's a mechanism to allow accumulation, because I want to benefit I want the trade benefit to go to all the partners together, and I want to promote economic integration and development of industrial base between the two partners. So, for example, if we go to the cotton example that we talked about, if the cotton is taken from Egypt and made into thread, that process, I can calculate it If I take that thread into Jordan as being originating, if I'm exporting to the EU, why? Because Egypt has an FTA with the EU and Jordan has an FTA in the EU. Again, there's three types of cumulation. When we talk about cumulation, we talk about the types of products and the number of partners that go into the relationship. Simply, I can use the product made in the US as if it's originating in Oman when I manufacture my product. So let's say if I got all the inputs of production, we talk about the hair curler, not from Japan, but I got them from the US and I'm making them in Oman, then these products will count as if they're made in Oman, because we're talking about two countries that are trading, and the point of the FTA is integration and closer economic collaboration. So this is bilateral, talking about two countries. So sometimes we have regional agreements, like what we talked about between the EU and the Euromed, the Southern Mediterranean countries, or with FTA. For example, like Oman has an agreement with FTA. So this will allow between more than two countries to count originated products from a third country that's also party to the free trade arrangement to benefit as if it's originating. The third that exists mostly in the EU is full cumulation. So it doesn't matter, everybody in this country, there's no percentage, there's no type of product, everyone can accumulate together. So this is just, we talked about the different elements of how we confer origin. Please remember that we're just talking about the basic principles. There's always exceptions and details. That's why, again, go to your trade specialist, your customs broker, your shipping agent, to look to find out what exactly is your HS, how you can apply the rule of origin. And you can always ask for a clarification from your own customs authority or the customs authority of the country you want to export to. Having said that, we're going to talk now about the proofs of origin. How do I prove? How do I show in these relationships between countries, this global relation, that this product is actually made and in my country, and it's originating in my country, and therefore I deserve the preferential trade tariff of zero.
Should we look at the charts? Maybe you can touch your breath. We have, I think, 3 messages on the chats. Must the components used to assemble the final product be produced in the country of origin? And they're asking about automotive. So does marketing cost count as added value?
No. Marketing cost does not count as added value. We're talking about the product, but design costs, for example, will be, so intellectual property in the design of the product will be considered as value added. When we talk about the accumulation, you have to look at what the rule says between, the rule says exactly in the agreement. So of course, automation parts, in principle, yes, it's all about assembling. For example, in Jordan, we have a very prestigious company. They produce a certain part for an aircraft, and that's considered originating in Jordan. It goes and it's assembled into the aircraft in its final place of manufacture. So this is, remember the rules, they can be as complicated or simple depending on the product. The EU are very complicated, are very deep because of their structure. The EU is a bit simpler. And we're going to see exactly the rules with the Oman FTA, but they differ. The rules will differ slightly to make sure that there's no trade diversion, there's no unfair advantage given that will affect the local production. So in principle, yes, assembly, accumulation is all about assembly. Okay, thank you. So let's go back to the proof of origin. Like the rules, there's a preferential and non-preferential. Non-preferential, we talked a bit about it. when it's important, in principle, it shouldn't matter because if I'm talking just about the tariff, but sometimes it's important when there's quotas or other restrictions, like specifically in the agriculture sector. So why certificate of origin, irrespective of the quota? Let's say I'm manufacturing something in a country in Europe, and that country has the foot and mouth disease. So I want to know where this product is manufactured. So I need to apply my the sanitary and phytosanitary rules. So the certificate plays more than one part, not just for the tariff, but it also helps me know where the product is originating from and what kind of rules I want to apply when I want to talk about not just the technical requirements. For example, Jordan and the EU have an agreement, and it's called the acquis, where we recognize each other's standards when it comes to toys. So toys manufactured in Jordan will automatically go into the EU market without having tests, because I recognize your standard as being equivalent to mine, and therefore I don't do the extra investigation on that product. And the origin will tell me that.
But all of this is for the benefit of the manufacturers, it's for the benefit of the exporters, because this is all a national effort to ensure that they're given this preferential.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it's also to regulate it where you don't have products entering a country and having the labels changed. And it's proof that this is originating from that country, to be exact. So it's all for the protection of the manufacturers, who should actually the legitimate beneficiaries of any free trade agreement.
That's a good point, because ultimately the consumers also have a role to play, and most of the rules we'll see when we talk about the technical sanitary and whether technical rules or sanitary rules, that they really are about protecting the environment, protecting the health and of plants and humans, so, and ultimately the consumer. Okay, so proofs of origin, preferential proofs of origin, these apply when between parties in a regional trade agreement. Again, there's three types. Let's have a look. No, sorry, there's 4 types of preferential rules. So again, flexibility, that in the agreement, countries will say how they want their proof of origin. Some will say, I demand a specific certificate, and it should look like this, and it should come out of this authority. Those of you who trade with the EU know that the EU requires specific rules of origin, certificate. So sometimes it's approved. So I pre-approve the exporters, so I know that their products are originating. The National Customs Authority has a big part to play in this formula, because most of the time the National Customs will come and calculate and issue a production calculation for you, saying that okay, these inputs come from certain places and your value added is certain amount, or not less than, or more than, which is a production calculation. I don't know what it's called exactly in English. I'm translating roughly from the Arabic, معادلة إنتاج, based on which the certificate of origin is produced. Production formula. Also, there's the third item, fully exported based certificate. This is where the exporters themselves sign and clarify that the product is originating. Our import-based certificate. So anyway, I forgot the English word. So the proof shifts from the exporter to the importer, that the importer will certify, yes, I say these products are originating. Certification. So all of these aspects, if I want to get the benefit of the tariff, all of them of the zero, all of these different elements have to come into play. It has to be, I have to have an FTA or a general system of preferences. For those of you who attended last time, there's another mechanism whereby developed countries offer preferential tariffs to developing or least developing countries on a non-reciprocal basis. I don't want them to give me any tariff preference, like it's called the general system of preferences, like the EU's everything but arms mechanism, or the US has a GSP system that benefits a lot of developing and the least developing countries. So it has to be covered by an agreement or an arrangement that gives it zero tariff. It has to satisfy the origin criteria. We talked about these: wholly obtained, or value, or substantive transformation. The substantive transformation can either occur through changing tariff heading or through specific processing. Change of tariff heading, specific processing, and value added, or a combination of these. There are specific administrative requirements that you need to abide by. We talked about, for example, the certificate of origin. You have to claim preferential arrangement. All of these have to combine together so a product will benefit from the zero tariff and be eligible to enter duty-free the goods. Specifically looking at the Oman US FTA, as you know, Oman is a member of the WTO. It's very important and has a free trade agreement with the US. It's a fifth generation agreement and contains a very substantive chapter on rules of origin. Why am I showing you this map again? Because Oman the US had an FTA with also Bahrain, Morocco, Oman, and Jordan, and this was part of an initiative that President George W. Bush proclaimed to create, similar to the EU, like neighborhood policy, a common area of shared peace and prosperity and economic development. There was a concept to have a common area of regional collaboration and economic growth between the US and the countries in the MENA region, the Arab countries, to help promote economic development and peace and prosperity. So 3 agreements were in this initiative. 3 agreements were reached. There were others being negotiated, but as some of you know, they were stalled. Why is this important? We're going to see in a minute. So in the Omani FTA, there's a specific chapter about rules of origin. Chapter here with an article and sub-articles. It's in the body of the treaty, of the agreement, sorry. And in the chapter, there are articles and annexes that talk about how the origin is inferred. So let's have a look what are the concepts that we talked about, how they look like in the Omani FTA. So wholly obtained, if a product is produced in the territory of Oman or the US, then it's considered wholly obtained and can benefit from the preferential tariff. Product of the country. In the country, here it talks about the specific rules, the change in the substantive transformation that can be achieved through either value added, change in transformation, change in tariff transformation, or specific certain rule. Specifically, when we talk about textiles, this is applied the product from yarn, specific technical requirement or process must be achieved. And there are other requirements and administrative procedures. We're going to touch on them in a little bit. The agreement has a footnote that talks about exactly how you calculate the value added. It has to be over 35%. So the value added, the calculation is shown very clearly. You bring the value of the material produced in the territory. So if I'm talking about stone, this end that's valued at a certain percentage, then I look at the value. Then I combine it with the direct cost, the processing operation, so the labor cost, the design cost, all these different costs that come into play when I produce a product. And I multiply it by 100, and I divide it by the value of the goods. So the value of the goods, remember, the end value is the X works price, so the value of the product at the door of the factory. This will give me the value added. It must be above 35%. Okay. Accumulation between Oman and the US, I can accumulate without limitation. So to get to the 35%, if I, for example, if we look at the example of the hair curler, if I bring all my product, all my pieces from the different inputs of production that go into manufacturing this device from the US, they all count as if they are original material.
As if they're Omani in this case.
Absolutely. And vice versa. Let's say I bring products from Oman and I produce something like aluminium foil. Then when the aluminium foil goes into back to the Europe, if I want to export it from Oman from the US into Oman, it benefits zero because it's originating. But let's say there's a different rule that talks about if I input products from Malaysia or from Africa and they're higher in value than the actual end product, then Oman will say, wait a second, that wasn't the product of the US. You don't meet the 35% minimum value, and therefore you will not benefit from the zero tariff. You will have to pay the full tariff, which is the preferential tariff. There's also a regional accumulation. A regional accumulation between Bahrain, Oman, and Morocco. Remember what we talked about a little bit about, common area and bringing prosperity? It's allowed that the products between these between these different partners that have an FTA with the US, they can go towards counting as origin material because I'm giving the preference to everybody, and if they can have, if they can build up their industrial base, why not? I'm achieving the objective that I want to achieve through the agreement. That I'm not giving a benefit to a country that doesn't deserve the benefit. It's not part of the system, and I'm supporting economic development and growth between the parties. There are other rules. We're just going to touch upon them. The agreement also talks very specifically about product actions that do not confer origin. So simple combination of packing, dilution with water, or dilution with any other product. These do not infer origin. So if I bring like pudding powder and I make it into, I put water in, I make it into pudding, and then I can't export it because I didn't really, what's the value that you didn't do anything? De minimis is very important for when I produce, products that require other parts in them. These other parts will not affect the origin up to 10%. So they're de minimis. They're not really considered.
They're not significant.
They're significant. They're considered part of the product, but because they're less than 10%, they will not affect the origin. This is the last one of the also administrative, very important, the direct shipment. So either product has to be shipped directly from Oman into the US or from the US into Oman and stay under the control of the customs at all times to make sure that there's no exchange of material and to secure that the products are indeed the products that have been produced in one party. A good example of this, let's say, if we have the hair curler, the same, and it's made in the US, but it broke, so you took it to your local agent, the representative of the company, said, it broke, and they want to fix it for you. They're going to have to get the part. If you don't have it, you have to get the specific part, maybe from the dealer in Europe. So they will ship you the part from Europe. Even though the part is made in the US, it will not benefit because it's not shipped directly. So this is one of the things that also affect the costing of the products and the circulation of the products in the market. So we have to be aware of this aspect only. Okay, we talk about origin. Remember, in the US, we talked about, remember, there's different certifications. They don't ask you for a certificate. They don't want it. They believe you. But the burden of proof is on the importer. The importer has to claim, or this is from an FTA country. I want the zero tariff. There's a form on the shipper, and they claim on it, based on which they will be given the preferential treatment. They believe you. They believe you. They don't ask you for additional administrative procedure. That's their system. But anytime within 5 years, they can come and ask you, okay, prove to me what's the value added, what are the documents. So the exporter the importer has to be sure to tell the exporter to keep these records for at least 5 years. We may be asked to develop a declaration to say that yes, this product is produced. There's specific items that have to be in the declaration. What is the value of non-originated material? What is the value of the added? What is the processing? And they will ask you for the invoices or the different costs attached to the implementation. So be sure to keep all these documents for at least 5 years. For textiles, we talked a bit about textiles. There's a stringent rule from Yarn Forward attached to there's a specific chapter on textiles in the FTA. I think it's chapter 3 or 5. Forgot. I have it here. It's chapter 3. Chapter 3, and it talks about what are the specific rules that have to be applied when you export garments, textile garments from Oman into the US. It's a stringent requirement, a Yarn Forward requirement. Like everything, there are exceptions and certain carve outs and specific items we need to look into very in detail. Some sources, this is the the International Trade Administration website. It has tools that you can use to identify and apply rules of origin, and also has explanations about the different aspects. This is also a good resource from the ITC. You can put in the country, and it will generate for you what is the rule, what is the trade preference you can apply. They're very good tools to use as well. So in short, that's just an overview of the, remember, there's more details, and we have to look at each item specifically when it comes to applying the rules of origin between the US and Oman FTA. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Rana.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, ladies. This was a fantastic discussion and a great overview into the rules of origins. Like I was saying, this is probably one of our more popular questions that we have amongst our members when they start asking about the FTA. So we do have some questions in the chat. So why don't we go ahead and start with them?
Do you wanna read them for us, Heather, and you can share the session, the discussion session, and we can take it from there. How would you like to run this?
Yes, so I think Dimitri had another question back to the price, and I think this is coming back to your fantastic curling iron example. So the price is the retail price, correct? Or is it the distributor or retail store price?
No, the price is X works price, because after that, it's the profit or the value of the product. I'll give you a simple example. If we talk about the iPhone, it's produced in China for maybe, what is it, $10. I want to say $1, but something ridiculous like that. But how much? But then when they add the software to it, so the product that you feel, the phone itself is, what is it? It's $10 in made in China. So the ex-works price is $10, but it's sold for $1,500, for example. So this can't go into the calculation of the value added, because the point of the rules of origin, we're talking about the birth. What is the actual value the contribution of the country of the FTA partner in the production of the product, the manufacture of the product. So if we look at the ex-works price, ex-works price is the price of the product at the door of the factory.
Dimitri, does that answer your question? Fantastic. We have another question from Shamshuddin, but I think we might need you to elaborate just a bit more. What if we're importing the products? I think, can you elaborate on that question a bit more, Shamshuddin?
I would encourage you to use the mic. Please feel free to talk.
Yes, my voice is audible now?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Actually, we are importing the products from USA. So this FAT free trade agreement, it is applicable if you are importing?
Yes, the same rules apply to both parties. So the same
Both the
rules,
parties.
yes, the same rules. But there's something, but there might be the same rules apply, but you want to talk to your customs. I'm sure any product that's imported from the US will normally benefit from the zero tariff if it's produced, it's the product of the US, it's originated in the US. Sometimes what happens is but for example, if you're importing certain material, the products will be made in China and then go into the US. We have to look at a case-by-case basis to see if the processing in the US actually infer origin on the product, or it's still considered made in China. Is that clear? Do you want me to elaborate some more? What's your product exactly? What do you import exactly?
Yeah, we are importing the technical products like mechanical spares, wall spares, pump spares, and we have some coating. All are origin from USA, made in USA. So we are the distributor for the USA brand, that is AW Chesterton. So we are dealing with the technical products, chemical products, and pump spares, mechanical spares. And
So like a pump, like a water pump.
Yeah, all types of pump, not pump spares.
Does the box say made in America, made in USA?
Yes, made in USA.
Okay.
And only
and you don't pay tariff on it normally, right?
We pay tariff, we pay customs.
You pay tariff or you pay like customs fees, custom clearance. Those are different.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. It's a very important question. I
Yes.
want to show you something. If we go back to the presentation, I don't know if we can share it, but I want to read it to you in all cases. When it comes to
maybe she can allow sharing for a minute, Lana. Heather, can you allow sharing, please?
You can still share your screen.
We can still share, but so can you see this this slide?
Yes, thank you.
So sorry, we have, I'll just need a minute to clear the slide. So if this is a simple like snapshot of the agreement. So this is a mechanism, a merchant side processing fee. This is a fee that the US imposes on processing the product. So it's the customs will, because there's administrative costs, right, related to processing the product. So if we look at here, normally exempt from originating goods. So based on, this is a specific code, US criteria, that basically Omani products will benefit from this merchandise processing fee exemption. The Jordan ones, there's no exemption for, I think this is, for the Morocco one, no exemption. So basically the Moroccan customs will any imports to products from the US, they will have to pay the fee. Bahrain and Oman, they're exempt. So please check with your customs, make sure what are the fees you are paying exactly, because these normally this applies both ways. So I'll exempt your products, you exempt my products from the fees. So normally they should be exempt from the fees, but please ask your customs board, the customs authority, check this out, and we can ask with Heather to check it out as well. But so we need to differentiate between the tariff and the processing fees, the administrative fees that customs collect. Customs will collect fees for their administrative costs, and these are different from the tariffs. So we need to differentiate between these two different, fees. I know for producers, importers, they're the same. They're paying like a fee, but technically they matter and they're different. Does that help?
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Do we have other questions?
Looks like no other questions.
It's a bit heavy, I know. Thank you for
Tolerating.
tolerating. I hope it was interesting. Heather, would you like to do anything, to say anything before we
Yes.
end?
Yes, again, thank you all for taking part in our session again today, and thank you, Ragha and Lana, for joining us as well in the fantastic presentation. As I mentioned, this has been recorded, so we will go ahead and send this out. Our FTA page will also start having these resources and these links that were mentioned throughout the presentation. So, how you find your HS code and the customs information. So we'll make sure that you have all of these links available to you. And then if you'd like, once you, process, digest all of this information that was shared today, if you do have questions or you would like to discuss it further, please make sure to reach out to us. We'd be happy to discuss this further and help get you pointed in the right direction. All right, well, fantastic. Well, we will see you all again in July.
Okay. I thought Mr. Melokos had a question, but I think maybe it's a mistake.
He raised his hand and then he raised it down. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think we got it all.
Start, I guess.
Yes, in July. We'll see everyone again in July for the technical and regulatory roles. So thank you very much. Everyone have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
see you next month.
Have a blessed day, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.